Shake it out, shake it out. Okay. Hey everyone. This week's video comes from a question that I got, and I thought it was really good. It was about what is the therapeutic relationship and why is it so important? So stay tuned. So I got a great question, I believe it was on Twitter last week or the week before, asking about the therapeutic relationship, because as many of you know, whether you've been told this or whether I've told you, because I know that I say this a lot, that it's very important that we like our therapists and we have what we call a therapeutic relationship. And sometimes I use these terms, like these therapist terms, and it's kind of frustrating because you're like, Katie, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, because I'm not a therapist, right? And so thanks for cluing me into that, because I'm kind of silly sometimes. But the therapeutic relationship is just that. It's your relationship with your therapist and how you feel about him or her. And all of the research, if I was on like a movie set, all these files would fall down. It's research, right? All of it shows that the most important thing is how we feel about our therapist and how that relationship works. So that's the most important thing. Because if we like them and we respect them and they respect us and we understand one another, miracles can happen, right? We can actually feel confident and comfortable enough to talk about those things that we're like, that you guys tell me, I don't want to tell them, I'm so nervous, right? But we feel comfortable because they're like our partner in crime, you know? And it can make things a lot easier for us. So that's what the therapeutic relationship is. It's when you sit with your therapist and when you meet with them for the first time. You know how some of you are like, yeah, I met with this person, it's just not right. And I'm like, find somebody else if we can. I know insurance makes things all annoying, but if we can, I always encourage people, I'm like, let's find somebody else for you, because if you don't like them already and you've only met them once, chances are you probably won't like them. But when you go to see somebody, you're like, Katie, it was amazing. You're right, it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be, and then that's a great pair. You've met someone that you can really work with. And that's why it's so important, especially when we're finally reaching out, right? Because I know it's so nerve-wracking and it makes us really nervous, and we think about it and we second guess and we question and we think again whether we should tell someone, whether we should get help. And I always urge people, do. But like any job, there are people that are really good at their job, and there's people who are really shitty at their job, you know? It's like you might go to the same Starbucks every morning. I'm guilty. And there's somebody that makes your coffee just, oh, it's so good. It's just amazing. And there's somebody else that's like slopping together. It's all like stuff running down the side. And they're like, here's your soy latte. I'm like, thanks a lot. So it's the same with therapists. And I'm not calling anybody out, but there are people who love their jobs, who have compassion and really want to help. And they do research. And we go to conventions and we go to conferences and we stay up on everything and we want to know and we get excited to hear how things are going, right? There's always those people. I love my job and other people love their jobs too. But then there's people who don't. And so if it doesn't feel right, don't make a second appointment. Make another first appointment with somebody else. And that's okay. And that's why it's so important to our treatment, because we need to have a team behind us that's rooting for us, that we feel comfortable coming in and being like, well, I cut this week. I'm sorry. Or I binged and purged, or I restricted. I hid food in my jacket and my pocket when I was out on a meal out with my friend, or whatever. We need to be comfortable enough to say those things, because that's what the treatment is about. That's what therapy is about, is me knowing what's going right, what's going wrong, and then us working together to change our goals and to say, okay, well, that was really hard. What can we do to make it better, right? Because we're always trying to get better and to work through things. And it's a process. It's not perfection. It's a process. And everybody's process is different. And we can't compare. And we can't get competitive. It's all, everybody's different. So make sure that when you make that appointment and you meet with a therapist, you have that kind of spark. Not to sound creepy and like it's like, romantic or anything. But you need to have that friendship spark where you're like, wow, this person really gets me and I feel comfortable and I could really cry if I needed to, or scream or shout or throw a pillow or something, right? We need to have that. So I hope that helps a little bit. And I know many of you are in the process of looking into seeing that first therapist and you're really nervous. And I have an old video back when I first started about making that first therapy appointment. So check that out, okay? Because it's really helpful and it kind of walks you through what to expect. But this is more about what you should feel in the moment when you're sitting with your therapist, okay? So that you know that this is your therapist. This is part of your treatment team. This is someone that you want to make weekly appointments with, okay? I hope that helps and kind of makes sense. I know I've been getting that question a lot. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because oftentimes I put out videos not on a Monday or a Sunday. It might be in the middle of the week. And then you get an email and you know about it right away. So I know some of you are like, Katie, I'm having a really bad week. I hope there's a midweek video, and then you'll know if there is. So please subscribe. And also leave the comments below. Let me know about good and bad experiences and kind of what you felt. Try to help people know what they're going to feel and think in the session, because I know it's really hard to describe, like that little spark and that click. It's like talking about how you meet the person you're going to marry or something. I just knew, right? But we need to kind of know what to look for. And yeah, it was kind of uncomfortable, but it was just my anxiety, but I really liked them. So please share what it was like when you met that therapist, that match for you that worked out, and you had that good, you know, connection, and they were part of your treatment team for a long time. Just let us know so that we can help learn from one another, because we're a big community. We're growing. We're getting to know one another. We're sharing our, you know, our successes and our little failures and our letdowns and our excitement, and it's great. So please keep sharing, and we'll keep working together, and I'll keep putting out videos as we work towards a healthy mind and a healthy body. Find out from friends and family. If anybody's seen somebody that they're comfortable with, it's possible that you'll be comfortable as well. But if that's not the case and you don't feel comfortable asking someone, you can also call your insurance company. See who's covered. That can save you